good morning to you. I don't have a song this morning, so I'm just gonna sing something random and totally off key that sounds like this. And I'm still gonna say good morning to you. Alright, today's Tuesday, so I'm gonna talk about Team Tuesday. I do not feel well today, guys. Only because I decided to eat chicken last night. Why did I do that? As you all know, I'm a pescatarian, so I eat fish and I eat fish and vegetables and stuff. And last night, and it's Adrian's fault, so if anybody sees this, you tell Adrian Robertson. He put a picture up and it looked really good of some chicken. That's like, let me try some chicken. Man, I woke up this morning and I feel so horrible. My stomach hurts, my head hurts. I feel like crap. Anyway, today is Team Tuesday. I'm going to talk to you about these crazy teens. Something's wrong with teenagers. And I've came to the conclusion that they're from out of this world. They don't really belong here. So there's three types of teenagers, right? There's your overachiever teenager. Yes, I will keep my hands on the steering wheel, sir. There's your overachiever teenager. There is your internalizing teenager. And then there's your I really don't give a crap teenager. And I deal with all three of those jokers on a daily basis. Ha, glory. I ever wondered, I had to go to the Bible on this one, because I was like, how did Jesus act as a teenager? You know, none of his teenage years are recorded. Like, we know what he was doing at 7. We know what he was doing at 33. We don't know nothing that he was doing between the ages of 10 and 17. I don't know what Jesus was doing. I think them years was blocked out for a reason. Because they knew, the Bible knew, these teenagers was crazy. So you have your overachiever teenager. That's the one that wants to be on the student board and have straight A's and be the all-star athlete, and they want to do all those lovely crazy things. And then you have the one that I personally like to deal with on a daily basis, that internalize everything and thinks the world hates them and thinks that nobody loves them. And then what they end up doing is just sitting in their room listening to really dark music. What are they listening to? I don't even get it. I can't even understand the words of what they're listening to. All I hear is bang, bang, pow, pow. All I hear is, oh, I'm going to shoot you in the face. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. I really don't know what he's talking about. My son listens to some weird stuff. He always talking about somebody drink bleach and die. I'm like, where do you get that from? I don't get it. These teenagers are weird. So how do I overcome these crazy teenagers? Oh wait, and then I have the other teenagers that's kind of pretty chill, pretty mellow. They internalize everything, and they don't say anything until the right time. And then when the right time comes, they're like exploding all over the place. Yeah, those are usually your female teenagers. My whole life is horrible. Nobody likes me. Oh, I'm gonna jump off the bridge. Yeah, those type of teenagers. So I've been thinking, seriously thinking, all right, God, how am I going to deal with these crazy teenagers? Because I deal with a lot of them on a daily basis of all different types. How do I deal with these teenagers with these different personalities? And especially dealing with the generation today and what's going on in society today. It's like, what is going on with our teenagers, for real? Like, on a serious note. We are like losing teenagers, like they're dying left and right. What's going on? And so I literally have come to the conclusion that they're crazy. They're crazy, and they need some serious prayer. We have our teenagers looking like 30-year-old women. Where do they do that at? Why is your daughter going to high school in the 9th grade with tracks down on her behind and stilettos that's like 10-inch heels high? Why are we doing that? Why are we allowing our children to do this? Let me tell you something. Who they are right now as a teenager, you have the opportunity to shape and mold them to who they're going to become as an adult. If you allow them to just go with the flow and be whoever they want to be, they are not going to be trained into who they need to be. Does that make sense? Like, if you say, oh, this is just a phase that they're going to go through, and you let them do what they do, they're not going to learn and understand that what they're doing is wrong. They're going to feel like their way is right. They're going to feel like what they're doing is go. And then, of course, Facebook doesn't want me to be great, so it's going to keep going in and out on this rainy day. But anyway, I don't get it. And then what ends up happening is our teenagers become early mothers, and they begin to teach their children what they know at that age, and not really what they should be teaching them. They teach them what they feel is right, and then we have 7-year-olds in school that's ready to stab everybody and blow the school up and punch teachers in the face. I got punched in the face by my student yesterday, and he's 7. Anyway, so you have this, and we have to wonder, and we have to ask ourselves, what do we do with our teenagers? We need some more programs out here for these teens, y'all. Like, serious. We need to go back to etiquette classes for females. We need to go back to manhood classes. We need to go back to rites of passage classes where we're teaching them how to be young adults and they have to go through the rites of passage. We need to do those things because guess what? We're losing our teenagers. Literally by the day, by the hour, by the minute. We are losing our teenagers. We are losing those that are most important to us because they are our future. If they don't get it right, our future is at stake. So you may not care. Everybody, especially the millennials, my age group, everybody's in the I don't care, I'm going to do me stage, and I don't really care about nobody else. The millennials are pretty selfish, you know. I came to realize that. The millennials are very selfish. So they're not caring about teenagers right now. And unfortunately, what ended up happening is that our teenagers are becoming the influence for the elementary school and the middle school kids. And we wonder why this world is tripping. This is why. Because us, the millennials, need to get it right and start showing these teenagers the way to go. Because these teenagers be tripping. And I really want to talk to God and when I get to heaven one day and ask him, what did Jesus do when he was a teenager? Because he ain't record none of it. And I need to know. I didn't know what he was up to. I really want to know, how do we get to these teenagers? How do we reach them? Especially in a world where they're influenced so greatly. You know, I don't get it. I may not ever get it, but I don't. They're so disrespectful. It's my children and through things, and I have to figure out, okay, God, how am I going to handle this? And of course we do say pray, and a lot of people say, hey, pray for the teenagers, pray fast, pray fast. But I'm like, I want to do more. So I do hands-on stuff and try to do a lot of mentoring and try to take them to counseling and do whatever I got to do to help them get on track so they know that this way that they're going, or the way that the world is showing them that they should be, is really not the way to go. You shouldn't be 16 with implants. Why are we doing that to our children? They're still growing. Why would you do that? Why is your fifth grader at school with fake nails on and tracks down her behind at 5th grade? You got 5th graders looking like teenagers. You got teenagers looking like 30-year-olds. But then you got the 30-year-olds walking around looking like they teenagers. I don't get it. I'm confused. Y'all should just pray. I think that's what it is. I think all y'all should just pray. I don't have too much to say no more because it baffles me. But this is Teen Tuesday. Let's focus on the teens today because it baffles me. It baffles me. And then we leave our children out there. Let me tell you what happened real quick. True story. Yesterday, I was looking for my son. He's 15 years old. He gets off the bus every day at 4:30. When I get off work at 4 o'clock. I go straight home, make sure he gets off the bus, and then I go to daycare and pick up my younger ones. That's just mommy's way of making sure all her kids made it home safely. Well, yesterday, because I had such a long day at work, I said, I'm going to go get the kids from daycare first, and then I'm going to go home. So I get home, and it's about 5 o'clock, and I'm like, my son isn't here. I'm looking around, I searched the neighborhood. Where's my son? I couldn't find him. And so I waited a little while longer. I looked around, I saw his skateboard. I said, if he goes far, he usually takes a skateboard. If his skateboard was still there, I was like, okay, what's going on? 5 o'clock came. I got there at 5. 5:30 came. I didn't hear from him. And he knows that I'm home by now. So I'm like, if he knows that I'm home, he would be here. 6 o'clock came. I was in straight panic mode. Where's my son? I called the police. I called all his teachers. I emailed teachers. Did you see him get on the bus? Did you, principal? I reached out to everybody. And they were like, he was at school. He got on the bus. And I'm like, okay, well, he is not home. So, little after 6, I see him walking towards me. And I didn't know whether to be upset or not. I just started crying. I was bawling down crying, like, God. And he said, the bus driver made him get off at a stop in Sandston. Sandston's like 10, 15 minutes from me. And he made him walk. And he's like, it was a new bus driver. And he said that he had his name down on the list for a different stop. And he's telling the bus driver, this is not my stop. I cannot get off here. I don't even know where I'm at. My 15-year-old son was dropped off. If driving, it's 15 minutes. Imagine walking. So I can only imagine why it took him so long to get home, because he was walking. And he did not even know where he was. And because he was on punishment, I took away his phone. Actually, I broke his phone. It's one of those teenage things. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need a phone. Anyway, I ended up breaking his phone, so he didn't even have a phone to reach me on. And he walked. And he said he was too scared to stop, ask somebody for help, because he didn't want nothing to happen to him. And I'm like, in today's society, we are losing our children at a rapid rate, especially African American children. And you drop my 15-year-old son off in the middle of a place he does not even know, and he had to figure out his way and walk his way home, too afraid to ask for help. Understand, I was upset, like beyond upset. But before I could even address anything, I'll just begin to just thank God at the fact that my son made it home safely, that he wasn't walking down the street and the wrong cop pulled up on him, or he wasn't walking down the street and some guys was like, oh, this isn't your neighborhood. These are the type of things that we really deal with on an everyday basis. And he had to walk, and he was like exhausted, but all he kept saying was, because he saw the fear in my face, he just kept saying, Mom, are you okay? Mom, are you okay? And I told him, yeah, I'm okay. But I was so thankful that my son made it home. You understand? Because a lot of teenage boys don't make it home. And he told me how scared he was. And I was telling him how scared I was because I couldn't find him. And trust and believe, the school had to hear from me. I did contact everybody again last night and told them about what the bus driver had done. You don't drop my son off at a stop. He's 15. He knows where he gets off the bus at. He's telling you, this is not my stop. I don't know where I'm at. And you make him get off. Oh, hey, Pastor G. I was telling the story about yesterday. I couldn't find my son. And by 6 o'clock, I was in panic mode. I called the cops and everything. And he ended up coming home a little after 6. But the bus driver, it was a new bus driver, dropped him off in Sandston and told him this is what he has on his list that Trayvon gets off at. Trayvon said, no, I don't even know where this is. This is not my stop. And the bus driver made him get off his bus. He said, you got to get off my bus, and made him get off. So Trayvon walked from Sandston all the way home. And he didn't even know where he was. He didn't have a cell phone to call me. He was too scared to ask somebody for help. So he just kept walking till he saw something familiar and made it home. I was beyond pissed off. Very, very upset. And like I was saying a little while ago, what happens with our teenagers nowadays, especially our young African American men, you drop my son off 15 minutes driving away from me, and he walked. So if it's 15 minutes driving, I understood why it took him an hour and a half, 2 hours to get home. And he was so scared, but he was trying to make sure I was okay. Oh yeah, I did contact everybody last night. I sure enough did. I called, I sent emails. I was beyond pissed off. My son is 15. He knows where he get off the bus at. He knows where he's supposed to get off the bus at. You don't force him to get off the bus. And I said, why would they even have his name down for Sandston? I don't live in Sandston. So they did hear from me last night, and they're going to hear from me again this morning. As soon as 9 o'clock hits, they're going to hear from me, because, again, anything could have happened to my child, especially, like I said, in today's society that we live in. So we just got to continue praying for our teenagers, because they go through things for real, beyond what the typical teenage, issues that they go through and stuff they may get themselves into. You just, especially with him going to an alternative school, they automatically misjudge him. They automatically, they're quick to send him to court and all this other stuff. And I'm like, he never had a record. He's never been arrested. And y'all are trying to build stuff, It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm 33 years old. I've never been arrested, never been in jail. And they arrested me because he missed 8 days of school. Like, pulled me over on my way to work saying, we have a warrant for your arrest. And I said, why? And it was like, because of a truancy charge. And I said, excuse me? And they really took me to jail, booked me, fingerprinted me, everything. And when I called the school to figure out what was going on, they was like, oh, he missed 8 days of school, unexcused. And so I was like, this is unacceptable. They sent a guardian of light saying that he's a child that needs supervision, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then you turn around and drop my son off in the middle of nowhere and make him walk. It's like they're trying to get them in trouble. Like you're trying to get him to find some trouble. And I didn't really like that at all. So I'm just saying, and then the school finally said they was going to drop the charges. So that's good. But at the end of the day, we have to pray, because the enemy is like, Nunu has 10 buttons of friends that died this school year alone. She has rest in peace, this person, that person. And she rocks the buttons like it's like a new trend or something. And I was like, this is crazy. So we really seriously have to pray, because the target is no longer the millennials or the older generation. The target is the younger generation. Then he's definitely starting with the teenagers on down. And if you see the elementary school kids, it's a shame. So I'm praying for our teens. I'm praying for our elementary school kids. But I'm really, really, really praying for the teens, because we're going to need them to be an influence for the elementary school kids. We need each generation to continue to show the next generation. And somewhere down the line, the millennials failed because we are a wreck. But I'm praying, and I'm going to continue to pray. Because I'm tired of seeing these 15-year-olds shot. I'm tired of them getting shot in the head. And this is crazy. This is really crazy. So, yeah. I got to go. I'm at work. It's 8:44. I thought I was going to get here early so I could scrub my classroom down with some Pine Sol because it's a little dirty. I almost didn't come to work today because I was abused by my student yesterday. He literally two-pieced me quite a few times in my face. My nose was swollen. He barricaded me in the classroom and told me I wasn't going anywhere. And then he told me he was going to kill me and kill himself. All because I was talking to another student and he wanted my attention. Like, when I say we're in some serious warfare, we're in some serious warfare. Like, for real. So, I almost didn't come to school today because it was a very stressful day yesterday. And, but the passion that I have in my heart for the children and what God has called me to do, I'm at work today. My principal probably going to be shocked to see my face today after what I've been through yesterday. But I'm here. And I pray that God continue to use me for the younger generation and to help show them love where there's so much hatred and so much anger. Like, it's a lot. But I'm going to let you guys go. I have to go to work. Pray for me. I'm going to keep praying for the teens, and I'm going to keep praying for our elementary school kids because they need it. Let us be an example to them. Let us not help them grow up faster than what they need to grow up. Please don't be out here putting fake nails on your elementary school kid and weave in their hair. Like, please stop. Like, let them be kids. Let's start rites of passage classes again for teenagers, teenage boys, manhood classes, etiquette classes for our teenage girls, and show them what it's like to be a young lady. Show them what it's like to be a young man. Let them go through a whole rites of passage class so they will feel like they have accomplished something and that they have morals and standards to live by. Let's not just be out here telling them to do whatever they want to do. No, we gonna end up killing our own selves off. No other race need to do it because we're doing it ourselves. But something to think about. If you're working with the youth, work with them. Pray for them. Like, seriously, get them involved in some stuff. Don't just tell them to go to church and don't sin, because they don't care about that. They're not listening to you when you say that. That's what our parents told us. We didn't listen. Let's find other avenues to reach them and get to them because they need it. They're dying. Like, you don't live in Richmond, but they're dying. Like, they're dying. I'm telling you, I hear it on an everyday basis. Kids that I know, kids that I've mentored, they're dying. So I've been to like 4 funerals already. They're dying. So sorry, it was a heavy Tuesday. I don't feel well. I ate chicken. And I've been a pescatarian for the past couple of months. And I ate chicken last night. And I feel like throwing up all over the place. So anyway, much love to you. I pray blessings and peace all over you. I pray that in spite of the rainy weather, that sunshine will come into your life, that your day will be filled of productivity, joy, and happiness and peace. I pray that all of our children are covered, going to school, coming home from school, in the school. I just pray that our children are covered at home, in the streets, and that no hurt, harm, or danger come upon them. I pray that God gives us all the insight that we need to become leaders for the next generation. Let us listen to his voice, and let us take God in his direction. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. And you look like a piece of chicken, sir. I won't be eating no more chicken. And I feel horrible. Like I just feel bad. My stomach, my head hurts. I don't have the energy. I don't know why I'm here, Jesus, but I'm here. Anyway, peace, love, and blessings to you all. Enjoy your day. God bless.